Okay, our final problem from Learning Workbook, page 63. At its fastest speed, an airplane takes 4 hours to travel a distance of 3,000 miles with the wind. The return trip takes 5 hours against the wind. Find the speed of the plane in still air and the speed of the wind. Okay, so first the setup for this problem. I want you to imagine this situation. You get into an airplane, you take off, you set the plane to its fastest speed, and for your first trip, you're going with the wind. That means the wind is helping you go faster. If there was no wind, your airplane would have a certain speed, but with the wind, the plane goes faster. Okay, that takes 4 hours. Then you come back, the return trips, which is also going to be 3,000 miles because it's a return trip. Only this time it takes longer because you're going against the wind. The speed of the plane hasn't changed, but the wind has changed. Maybe I should say this in a slightly different way. The maximum speed of the plane hasn't changed, but the wind is affecting that speed. It's slowing down the plane because the plane is fighting the wind. And so what we're asked to find out in this particular problem is, what is the speed of the plane in still air, right? If there was no wind at all, what would be the fastest that the plane could go? And what is the speed of the wind? Because clearly that is affecting the overall net speed of the plane. Okay, so step one asks us, just find what are we being asked for here. And the last sentence says that, find. Find the speed of the plane in still air and find the speed of the wind. Okay, now we have to come up with variables to define these particular quantities. Notice that they're both speeds, which means we cannot choose s for our variable because then we would not know which one is which. A very popular incorrect answer that students make is to choose A for the first one, A for air. We're not measuring the air, we're measuring the speed of the plane. So, what's the distinguishing word between these two speeds? It would be plane and wind. We're measuring the speed of the plane and the speed of the wind. All right, so P is defined as the speed of the plane, and W is defined as the speed of the wind. And there we go. Those are our variable definitions. Okay, we've now done 5 problems where all we were responsible for was step 1, define your variables. So let's just briefly summarize. When you define your variable definition must always include the word of or the word number or both, and the variables that you choose should be very intelligently selected so that they represent the quantities from the problem, right? For example, P for plane, W for wind, D for dog, B for burger, S for small, L for large.